Hello, and thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation. My name is Eric Weller, and I am a student in the Project Management course at Cornerstone University. And this presentation is regarding the Blue Sky Project Case Study 10.1. Just a brief summary of this case. The main character in this case is Garth Hudson, and he gets a new job as a project manager. He experiences a lot of things the first year on the job, and it's a little bit rocky in this new project. Other project team members seem to outshine him and get more attention. And then upon completion of the project, Garth Hudson is downsized by his director. There were several mistakes that Garth made along the way. One of them was a lack of understanding about the importance of interpersonal relationships. If he would have taken the time to talk to and build trusting relationships with his team members and coworkers, that would have went a long way towards him avoiding some of the problems that came up later. Another thing he did that he should not have done is stopped attending the biweekly meetings at work. These biweekly meetings were an opportunity for him to network and build relationship with his coworkers and team members. Another mistake he made was that he worked mostly behind the scenes, so people seldom saw him. He spent most of the time on this specific project with technicians from Open Range, who was a partner in this project, and he spent more time with those technicians than he did with his own technicians, and rarely ventured outside his own office. There are some possible actions Garth could take to improve upon his situation. One of them is he could read books on interpersonal relationships. There's many good books out there on the importance of interpersonal relationships and what a person who is not naturally inclined to be social and a person who does not naturally thrive in that kind of a setting, maybe he's more introverted. There's some good material out there where he can learn to do what he needs to do in a business setting to make himself more well-rounded. This would improve work relationships, but one of the cons to this is sometimes it can feel forced, and he would never want to attempt to be someone that he is not. The second possible action is he could get outside of his office more. This would send a message that he's involved, that he cares, and that he wants to be a part of the team. But at the same time, with his personality type as an introvert, there could be some awkward interactions at first. He would have to overcome these and not let those awkward interactions intimidate him. The third possible action he could do is begin attending the biweekly meetings. These are great times built into the workday where he could build relationship with coworkers. Now, he may look at this as a waste of productivity and a waste of his time when there's other things he could be doing, but he needs to learn the value of those relationships at work. After Garth is downsized by his director at the end of this project with Open Range, there are some things that he could have done to respond in a way that I think may have given him a second chance with his director at EOI. One of them is he could ask for feedback on what are some things that happened, what were some ways that he stumbled along the way, and then even ask for some specific issues, some specific things that his director noticed that contributed to him being downsized. He could also reassure the director and commit to improving and becoming better at these interpersonal relationships, at becoming more social in the work environment. Not that he has to be more social outside of work, but at least within the work day, he could commit to improving his own extroversion and commit to that, and commit to making friends, and commit to working with a team, and giving that impression that he's involved and that those relationships are important. He could even suggest that he do this in a trial period and say, hey, give me a chance for 30 days, give me a chance for 60 days to make some changes and see where we're at before we make this final decision. He could even suggest that he find a mentor. Maybe he'll find someone at work that he respects and start getting some counsel from him on ways to build those interpersonal relationships and become a more well-rounded leader. And then, of course, he can explain his commitment to EOI to his director. There's some lessons learned. Number one, project managers need to be well-rounded, and that leadership involves much more than technical knowledge. He needs to focus on building trusting relationships and be willing to learn new ways of doing things and be open to change, and how to build a cohesive team and lead a cohesive team in order for a project to be successful. Thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation. I hope you learned as much from it as I did.